Seen that one in a while. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sean in Alaska, and welcome. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. I hope all my American brothers and sisters are getting ready for Thanksgiving. That happens for us this week on Thursday. It is awesome to have you here. Generally, what I like to do is I like to start at the top of the comments. I like to say hello to everybody. I like to ask or acknowledge any questions anybody has. And then if I happen to miss your question, do me a favor, leave it again in all caps. And if I have already answered it, I'll just skip over it, generally speaking, as I go through. With that said, let's get the banner up for this week's show. I always like to make it modern. Welcome all. Today's high will be 29 degrees Fahrenheit. This morning's low was 23 Fahrenheit. Sunset is at 9, or sunrise is at 9:29 a.m. and sunset is at 4:12 p.m. for a total of approximately 6 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. We are almost to the end of the short days. They're starting to get to the point where they're, you know, stopping, and then we'll start getting longer again, which is what I'm looking forward to. And for the first time ever live in Alaska, I have refrigeration in the cabin. So the ice chest has been retired. I'm very, very excited about that. That'll be next Friday's video. But I'll give you guys, since you're on the live, a sneak peek of what's happening here. I installed 2 lithium iron phosphate batteries, wired them up to my solar system. That was the picture that you saw at the beginning of, or at the thumbnail for this week's video, or for this week's live. And the 2 batteries were in the back corner. I don't know if you can see them. They're pretty big. 600 amp hours of power. They were provided by a company for me to test out here in Alaska, which is super awesome. And I'm only using about 10% of those batteries per day. So right now the batteries are still at, it's been 48 hours. It's been 2 full days as of the end of this live, and I'm still over 80% charge on the batteries, which is super, super awesome. It means I'll be able to go well over a week with refrigeration without even having to worry about powering or without worrying about charging up the battery. So I'm super excited by that. Let's jump back up to the top and say hello to everybody that jumped in. Robert at Kermudge Inn says that he won't be able to jump in the live because he's got company over. Not a problem, Robert. Not a problem at all, man. Blueberry Bog, what's happening? Great to see you. Thank you very much. You guys hit the thumbs up, the like button down below. And anybody else who happens to be on YouTube, the more of those that happen, YouTube will say these guys are having a great time and suggest it to people who are not probably following the channel already. Hester's Garage, Scott, how you doing, brother? Good to see you today. Howie's Kitchen, glad you could make it. Speaking of Howie's Kitchen, somebody made a comment about what's Howie cooking. I've got, I don't know if you can see. There we go. I got something in the oven right now that's going to be done at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. It's at 84 right now. I'm cooking a tri-tip in the oven, and that'll probably be in the week after's video. I'm doing it exactly the same way as I do when I cook them on the grill, except doing it in the oven because I didn't feel like firing up the charcoal grill today. Joseph Padoni, drive safe, brother. You know it's always more important to get home and get where you're at than it is to sit here and hang out with me, but I appreciate it when you guys pop in. I greatly appreciate it. Stay for as long as you can or as long as you'd like, but there's never a rush to get here, and there's never any pressure to stay. Linda, how are you at Lipstick Lodge? Show the stone, Sean. I haven't seen it yet. So let's wait about, let's be about 15 minutes into it, and then I'll flip the camera over and I'll show you, because I am officially done with the entire stone wall. Behind the wood stove. The only thing I haven't done yet is seal it, and I'm going to be sealing it this week so that I can get the wood stove moved in place, installed, and have the first fire. I'm hoping to have the first fire maybe on Thanksgiving. We'll see what happens. Oh, Todd, what's up, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Todd's seen it. Todd lives across the street. Todd is the one that helped me putting up the framing on the roof. All the stuff that basically happened above ground, above the top of the walls, was Todd helping me with all of that, which was super awesome. He's also my go-to for solar stuff. We bounce stuff off of each other all the time as far as solar goes. And as far as appliances go, I suggest something. Todd thinks it sounds good. Todd buys it. Todd tries it out, tells Sean if it's any good, and then Sean buys it. Yeah, here was Blueberry Bog's comment. What you cooking? Nice. Marcus, welcome. It's good to see you today. Glad you could make it in. Art, Deep South Alabama. What's happening, brother? Can't wait to see you up here again. Bill at My Alaska. Awesome to see you, my friend. He is also another Alaska channel. So if you guys are interested in more stuff about Alaska, by all means, check Bill out. And this person right here, if you're still here, I'm going to embarrass the heck out of you. No matter what the endeavor has been in my life in the last 20 years, she has been my staunchest supporter of anything I have tried to do in the last 20 years of my life. So yeah, when she shows up in a live, Sean gets a big old smile on his face. Very, very happy. Very, very happy you jumped in, Jolie. Charles and Annalyn from the Philippines, it is awesome to see you today. Hope you are doing well. Ginger, how are you doing? Happy early Thanksgiving to you as well. Am I making a Reese's peanut butter cup pie? You know, it's funny you should say that, but no, I am in fact making a pie, but I'll probably do it Monday or Tuesday. I've got the pie dough in the refrigerator already. There's going to be a lot more food going forward, folks, because I have something to hold the leftovers in the house now. So there's going to be a lot more food stuff going on in the cabin. Yeah, definitely. The pie I'm making, though, is an apple pie because not much beats an apple pie. And I'm going to say it, and half of you guys are going to be all, what's he talking about? A nice thin slice of sharp cheddar cheese on a piece of hot apple pie. Don't knock it until you've tried it. It's incredible. Matt, welcome, brother. Good to have you here today. John's Touchpad, how are you doing today? Glad you could pop in. Lucy, welcome. Glad you could be in today as well. Rain Dance Bushcraft. You got to follow Jess. Jess does great lives. Jess is fun on his lives. Every Tuesday night, Jess does lives, and there's drinking involved. And I enjoy that because there's like tastings and sippings. There's not crazy drinking. There's just tastings and sippings and discussions about off-grid and bushcraft life and that kind of stuff. Super awesome. Check out Rain Dance Bushcraft because Jess is a great guy. Jerry Canadian, welcome, my friend. It is awesome to see you today. Jill, glad you could make it. Awesome to see you today. When you guys see me look up here, I'm looking up at the big monitor because that way I don't have to put the glasses on to read the small monitor. Forrest, welcome. Glad you can make it. Awesome to have you here today. Anne O'Brien from Ireland. Hi, Sean and everyone. How are you all this week? Wet and windy here in Ireland, but I saw about 10 snowflakes this week. I saw some pictures that Ireland got some snow. It was nice. If you want more snow, I just have to go there because it seems like every time I go to Ireland, it snows. I've been once and it snowed. Built on the Rock Homestead. Welcome. It is awesome to see you today. Ben A. from Lutz, Florida. Awesome to have you today here as well. BLR from Minnesota. Welcome, my friend. How'd you like that game today? If you don't know, I'm a Vikings fan. Jolie is a Bears fan, and we were going back and forth all day with the game. And I got to tell you that I still call it the NFC Central because to me, that's the toughest division in football. It always has been. They always play each other so well. Last week, the Bears got a field goal blocked and lost to Green Bay. And this week, they went into overtime with Minnesota and lost. But, man, that team played a great game today. It was a great football game in overtime. I enjoyed the heck out of it. But, yeah, I hope you did too as well, BLR. Ace, how you doing? Good to see you today. Oh, today's tea, by the way, because I usually have tea when I'm live, is Earl Grey in honor of Jean-Luc Picard. Eves, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. My Alaska Bill wants to know what are my Thanksgiving plans. I'm going to work Thanksgiving Day, but I'll get done early because, you know, that's like last minute stuff. People are coming in and they're getting whipping cream and sour cream and that kind of stuff, cheeses and stuff to take to parties. And then I'll probably just be hanging out with you guys. More than likely, I'm going to go live on Thursday. I generally go live on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day and New Year's Day, just to hang out with anybody who doesn't have anybody to hang out with. I have nothing going on. So, yeah, I'll be doing the YouTube thing. I got to work the rest of the week, though, too. So weird to not have to report and say that the video and sounds are good. Progress all the way around. Wow. I didn't even think about asking that. Nice. Nice. Just says I'm part of a cocktail design group on TikTok. This week, we're designing drinks with an American Thanksgiving theme. I caught that on your live yesterday. That's pretty awesome. I like that. I got to find that liqueur you were talking about, that allspice liqueur. I'm a big allspice fan, so that sounds pretty yummy. Bill says it is 20 degrees in his part of Alaska. You didn't miss me? I'm here. Michigan Daffodil, great to see you. Awesome, awesome, awesome to have you here today. Okay, so this will come up more in the video, but since Matt asked it, how big is the charger for the batteries that you use with the generator? So generally speaking, most of your car battery chargers are going to be anywhere from 10 amps at the most 30 amps. So if you think about it this way with a little bit of math, and I'll go into this deeper in the video, a 300 amp hour battery with a 30 amp charger will take you 10 hours to charge on a generator. So during the winter, I'm still going to be stuck charging via a generator. But during the summer, with the plans that I have coming up in the very beginning part of the thaw, when we hit breakup and the ground starts to get soft, with the first couple of projects that I'm going to do, one of those is going to be installing a bigger solar array that's up higher. My biggest problem with solar right now is that I could get solar power now, but the sun's so low on the horizon that the trees get in my way, so I can't get enough solar power to make it worthwhile. But back to the charger thing. So the more amps you can use on a charger, obviously, the faster the battery will charge up. So I have ordered a 80 amp lithium ion phosphate battery charger that will mount directly onto the wall and wire directly into the bus bars. So that will, one of those will generally charge a battery from 0 to full, one 300 amp hour battery in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. So, right, 8 times 3 is 240. So no, it would charge it from 0 to full in 3.5 hours. So yeah, that's the direction I'm headed with that. But yeah, there'll be a lot more on that in next week's video. Nalita, how are you doing today? It is awesome to see you. Just saying hi. Hello. Welcome. From Red Wing, Minnesota. Awesome. Awesome. Minnesota has some crazy town names. Most of those areas back there have some crazy town names, but like Alaska, I'm in Funny River, Alaska. We have Chicken, Alaska. We have some crazy names up here too. Thomas Fry, welcome. Glad you could make it today. Bill, dry tip steak, when should I get there? Well, it's at 99 degrees right now, Bill, so it'll be ready right about the time that this live is over. Exactly. That's why I'm kind of excited about this. I bought this 2 weeks ago, and I had it in the ice chest sitting out front, and I didn't get a chance to make it last weekend because after the live last weekend, Todd and I had corned beef, just corned beef for dinner because he got a great deal on corned beef and pulled one out of his freezer. Well, it froze in my ice chest, so I thawed it out. I brought it out Thursday to thaw it back out again, and it's been thawing out in the refrigerator for the last probably 36 hours, and I cooked that thing up. But that's the plan, right? So tri-tip for dinner, maybe tri-tip for dinner again tomorrow night, and then tri-tip sandwiches. Yum, yum. John Feeney, welcome, my friend. It is great to see you here today. Karen, glad you could make it as well. Awesome to have you here today. Mary, how are you doing from Maryland? Great to have you here. You don't see a fire yet. Okay, we're about 15 or 16 minutes into it. I'm going to move the camera, and I'm going to show you the finished wall. Please excuse the mess that is over there because I still have to seal it, and I just finished it yesterday. So let me grab the camera here real quick. And let's see if I can do there. There we go. Let's get it. We don't want this thing. This thing's in the way. There we go. There we go. So what I did was I went all the way to the top with the stone. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to have one constant look all the way up. Now, it is not done around the pipe, but all of that area that has not been framed in with stone will be covered by the flap on the edge of my pipe. Let's see if I can get this back on here now. There we go. So that is what the wall looks like, and I'm really excited with how it turned out. I had to do some cut pieces to make sure because I have a 4-inch difference on the edge of the lip going all the way around. So there's like a big, the big ring that goes on the outside of the wood stove or out on the outside of the fireplace. And that'll cover all of that right there. And I thought, I don't need to cut anything. If I use that stone, I can just fit it in there and it'll be one solid look all the way up. So yeah, Al, that's what's happening. No fire yet, but coming soon to a cabin in Alaska near you. Brook Trout, how are you doing? Did you get the tile finished? You just saw it? I did, in fact, get the tile done. It was funny too, because Todd came over when I was finishing up the top. And I got it all done, and I was cleaning stuff up. And Todd goes, well, all you got to do now is finish the bottom. Remember the board that was at the bottom? I forgot all about that. Or I would not have been able to finish that. I'm all, oh, my gosh, thanks. So I took that off and finished that up, too. Adirondack Deer Chaser, thank you very much. Awesome. Navy Dave's videos. How are you, Navy Dave? Greetings from Maine. Finally finished up my electrical for inspection. I had to bury my conduit for solar and a few other things. Inspector gave me a thumbs up. It was a good day. I like it. This time of year too, man. If you're digging holes this time of year, it's not cold yet. Raquel, it is awesome to have you here today. How are you guys doing? And here is the ever-present Jay and Jen. The pumpkin pie is better, no cheddar needed. I can do pumpkin pie a couple of times a year. I can do it at Thanksgiving. I can do it at Christmas, but I'm not a big pumpkin fan. I don't like custard pies that much. I like custard, but I don't care for custard pies that much. But awesome to see you guys. Jay, again, awesome to talk with you on the phone the other night. That was dude, we could talk all night long. We could talk all night long. I think we got like 45 minutes in that one. If you guys are not fans of Jay and Jen, you need to be because they do some awesome stuff. I talk about Todd being one of my go-to people for solar, but I've learned so much by watching Jay and Jen's video on how Jay does something. And, you know, when he has a failure, he goes back and shows you what the failure was, how it happened, what he did to compensate for it. I've learned a ton from them. So if you guys are interested in the kind of stuff that you can do with solar, check them out for sure because they've done some awesome stuff. I learned a lot of like the wood stove stuff from Jay too when he was doing his wood stove videos. Super cool. Check them out, Jay and Jen, awesome people. Everybody's saying hi to Jay and Jen. Oh, Dave said he got a few flakes of snow today. Very good. Rich, how are you doing today? New viewer from Atlanta. Awesome to have you here, my friend. LaRue, how are you doing today? It is great to see you. Happy Thanksgiving as well. Tony, how are you doing as well from Ohio? Awesome to have you here. Man, Detroit looks good this year. Holy smokes, Detroit just looks unstoppable this year. They're scoring lots and lots of points, and they're not taking any names at all. They're just freaking rolling over everybody they play. The Minnesota Detroit game is another great example, though, of that division. It was a great game. It was a great game. NFC Norris division, right? Yeah, I still call it the Central, but it's the black and blue division. Yeah, that was a good game, though, man. I'm telling you, that division. Steve, what's happening? Awesome to see you here today. Glad you can make it. Excuse me. What's happening, brother? How you doing? Good to see you live this evening. Caught you over at Jess's last night. Been wondering if you tried pickling your salmon catch or just enjoy the smoked and frozen ones. I enjoy the smoked salmon more than anything else. I'll grill a couple of hunks, during the season pretty much. But other than that, I pretty much just like to smoke it up, vacuum pack it, then pull it out and snack on it. I love it. I love it smoked. Michael from far northern Minnesota, it is awesome to have you here today. Glad you can make it. Turkeys, public service announcement, turkeys can't fly. They can glide. They can fly like chickens can fly, but only a little bit better. They can glide pretty far, though. Kicks, what's happening? Awesome to have you here. What kicks you rocking on? What keeps me or kicks me? Clarify that question. I'm more than happy to answer it. What keeps me motivated? I don't want to be cold. I love making the YouTube videos and sharing what I'm doing, so I always have to be doing something. What kind of stuff do I do to keep myself motivated? Besides that, when I'm doing it, I'll crank up some Irish music. I love listening to what I call newgrass music, which is a modern bluegrass kind of music. I love that kind of, with heavy mandolin and banjo and stuff in there. Or I'll throw on Arna G, which is Radio na Gaeltacht out of Ireland, and listen to the Irish while I'm working. It's all Irish language radio, and stream it over the internet. So those are the kind of things I do while I'm working. But yeah, other than that, if you got more questions, let me know. Karen, thank you very much for that. Hit the like button. It greatly helps. Mid 80s this morning with a breeze in the Philippines. Man, I would be dying. Right now, I don't even know what temperature it is outside. I can tell you right now that upstairs in the loft, it's 74 degrees. Downstairs, it's 64 degrees. And outside's probably about 22. I might be able to tell if I just pull up my phone. 29 degrees right now, it says. Is that Funny River? Yeah, that's for Funny River. Sometimes it says Funny River. Sometimes it says Sterling. I'm across the river from Sterling. The river is the Kenai River. Trail Camp Pete, what's happening, my friend? Loving your wall, Sean. Looking forward to seeing it done. Awesome. Very good. 74 in Texas, October. Warmest October in record history. I think November is trying to follow. You're going to get it. It's coming. Winter's coming. Everybody does this, and it arrives. And then when it arrives, everybody goes, it's too cold, but it happens. Beto, awesome to see you, my friend. Glad you could be here. Megan, how are you doing? From St. Cloud, Minnesota. We've got Minnesota representing in the house tonight. I like that. Right? Jill just said the same thing. Minnesota representing. Woot woot. Redneck Rebuilds. How you doing, my friend? I love that name. That is an awesome name. Balin wire not included, right? Very cool. David Evans, it is awesome to see you, my friend. Glad you could pop in. Finished your firewood today. Very cool, man. That's always a good thing to be done. We're catching up now. Al says, looks great. You must be talking about the wall. I'm a little bit behind today. I'm trying to catch up real quick. Built on the Rock likes it. Blueberry Bog likes it. Howie's Kitchen likes it. Trudy, you made it. Awesome to see you today. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Always a special shout out to Al. For most of you folks that have memberships can pretty much thank that man on the street, for your memberships, because he gave a whole bunch away like 2 weeks in a row, which was super cool. Thank you, Jill. Greatly appreciated. Oh, thank you very much, Nalita. Greatly appreciated. Oh, scrolling through real quick, trying to catch up. Jennifer, how are you doing today? Afternoon from Northwest Montana. Afternoon from, I guess, South Central Alaska, the Kenai Peninsula. Brook Trout says it's only 62 in Venice, Florida. My friend, you better get a parka on. If it's only 62 in Florida, you need to get a parka on. Thank you very much, Linda. Lipstick Lodge. Awesome. Awesome. Sue Lewis, how are you doing today? Glad you could pop in. Awesome to see you. Randy Weedman, how are you doing, my friend from Vancouver, Canada? Awesome, awesome. Sue Lewis is a Bills fan. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. Good evening, Sean in Alaska and fellow Earthlings. Howie's the kindest man you will ever watch on YouTube. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Super positive, super awesome guy. I can't say enough nice stuff about Howie's channel. Raquel will be out of town Thanksgiving. Your birthday's November 30th. Well, happy early birthday to you. That is awesome. Thank you, LaRue. I'm really excited with it too. I think it turned out super, super nice. You know that food is going to pop up. If you're new to my lives, a food conversation is going to happen at some point in every live that I do, and then you're going to walk away from here hungry. If I could do a smell through YouTube, you would be dying right now because of the seasonings, the rub that I put on that tri-tip. My house smells absolutely glorious right now. Henry Leslie, Vermont, awesome to have you here today. Thank you for making it. Kevin Wright from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Good to have you, my friend. How's the weather up there in Alaska? Well, we got a chance of snow this evening. We're not going to get much. And then the temperatures are going to get colder again starting on Tuesday. We'll be back below zero. But we warmed up pretty much. November can go either way. It can be really cold or it can be, mediocre. This one's been a cold one again. Hopefully that means we'll do what we did last year in December. Will warm up. Redneck Rebuild, Sean. I rode your track today, 120 miles to a toy run. Nice, very cool. Toy runs are awesome, man. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. One of the best TV shows. We talked about this last week, and if you follow Sean in Alaska on Facebook, and it's down below, I post stuff that I share on the Sean in Alaska Facebook page all the time. The link to get there is down in the show notes. But the WKRP in Cincinnati turkey drop. So I posted like a 5-minute link to, or YouTube link to a 5-minute video for that is one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in television in my life. Little off-grid cabin, Alberta. How are you doing? Cold, -26 in Alberta this morning. You run solar 100% of the time unless we have too many cloudy days. Actually powering the cabin with power stations. You can charge them with 1,000-watt input. Nice, very cool. Power stations are a cool way to go. Right now, I've got the generator off. So right now, everything that's happening in the cabin on this end, on the live stream and with this light that I've got over here is all being run off of a little OPS 1,800-watt power station. And it's super, super cool. And I generally fire up the generator just to keep that topped off because then I do all my editing and everything on here and I don't have to listen to the generator run when I'm doing most of it. CB, country boy trapped in the city. How are you doing today? I think I'm going senile. I keep forgetting the day and the time. CRS, man, we're older. We all suffer from CRS. Linda says she's going up to 38 tomorrow. Good day to change the Jenny oil. Yep, I just changed my Jenny oil 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I've changed it. Todd says it's 33 right now. He's either warmer across the road than I am, or he's colder across the road than I am. So when I'm like below zero and I'm at like 9 below zero here, he's like 15 below zero at his place. And when I'm like 70 here, he's like 75 over there. No snow in Buffalo yet. It's coming. It is coming. Oh, I'm saying hi to everybody here. 66 degrees in central Arkansas. That is awesome. 66 is comfortable. That's a perfect temperature for me. That's sitting around the campfire temperature right there. Sand Dollar J, it is awesome to see you today from Bend, Oregon. Now for the last week, last 8 weeks, you're in Bend. Very cool, beautiful area. I'm good. No duct tape and self tappers. I'm in Missouri. Nice. Dear Dam, how are you doing? Nice to have you here today. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Cold, 29F, and can't make its mind up if it's going to snow. I like the snow. I think I've said this before because I might have actually said it in last week's video. But when it's snowing, it's warmer. When we have the crystal clear evenings and everything else, that's when we get real cold. Christy, how are you doing today? Steve and I are camping right now. Very cool. Oh, that's right. I saw you on Jess's live yesterday. I hope you guys are feeling better. I think you were camping and sick. I hope you're camping and feeling healthier now. Not a problem, Howie. Not a problem at all, man. I do enjoy your content. I do enjoy it. Every time I watch you, I have a smile on my face. You're like the Bob Ross of the YouTube thing right now. Except, there is Bob Ross on YouTube. But I never leave one of your lives or one of your videos without a smile on my face. Everybody saying hi. I think that there's a way I don't know how to do it. What they do basically is rather than, give like a super chat or something like that, they give they just click on something and it allows them to purchase memberships. And then they just they buy like 10 or 50. In the case of Al, he bought like 50. And then I don't know. I don't think he has to click it and give it to him. I think it just applies to people in the chat. I don't know how it works. David, the wood stove is probably going to be installed this week. Probably going to happen this week. I need to seal that back wall, and then I'm probably going to pull the trigger and install it this week because I'd like to have a fire this week. Yeah, there's only one person other than me that has that recipe, and that's my cousin because I gave it to him because he really wanted it, and he promised not to give it to anybody. So I kind of describe what I do in the rub, the blend of the different ingredients that are in there, but man, that's that's like asking a woman her age or her weight. You don't ask that question, Liza. Randy, this time around, because I did live in Alaska before. I lived up here for like 3 years in 1998. So 1998 to 2001. Then I left. Since I moved back up now, it was 2013. So I've been back up here for 11 years now. Karen is asking how the family, the ladies, Black Beauties, and Sam are. So Sam's my rooster. The ladies are the Rhode Island Reds. The Black Beauties are the Black Australorps. And chickens are all doing fantastic. And the family's doing fantastic as well. Pretty proud of my youngest daughter. She just got herself a new job and finally left the sinkhole that she had been working at forever. It was really just a drain. It was never going to take her anywhere. And she applied to go to work at the local hospital where she lives and got a job. She got interviewed and she got the job on the first time around, which was super awesome. I'm super excited for her. Other than that, everybody's doing fantastic. All right, everybody's saying hi. I think I said hi to you already, Ace, but I'll say hi again just in case I missed it. I don't know about that smell, Sean. I've been in your cabin before. This is a good smell. This is a good smell. Lamb shanks, yum. I love lamb. Terrific market here in town. Looking forward to usabuco. Nice. I love usabuco. I love any Italian food whatsoever. Karen, it is awesome to have you here today. Glad you could make it again. That's 2 weeks in a row for you. Everybody talking to everybody else. That's what I love about the chat too, is that everybody starts chatting with everybody, and it's super awesome. Old school Alaska, welcome, my friend. Glad you could make it today. Destiny, it is great to see you as well. Oh, see, I can't grow tomatoes in Alaska. Not until I have a greenhouse. I can't. It's just too cold, really. I mean, there's some varieties, but the ones I like, I can't really grow unless I have a greenhouse because our temperature doesn't really get warm enough for them to pollinate. Ward! Ward is the go-to for any construction question that I have. And Ward, I did the wall exactly the way we discussed. Because he was actually the one that said, why don't you just finish it with that stone all the way up? And I go, I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, we talked. I bounced so much stuff off of him. It's crazy. Good to see you, brother. Awesome to have you here today. Scott, welcome. Glad you could make it as well. David says it's 1 degree below 0 Celsius in Enterprise, Ontario. So what, about 30 degrees Fahrenheit? Yeah, the minus 30s and 40s are brutal. When I first moved to Alaska, when I lived here in 98 to 2001, I lived in the interior. And I lived near Fairbanks. And I'm telling you, that's a different kind of cold. That's a cold that'll kill you if you're not careful. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Down here on the Kenai Peninsula, we still get the minus 20s and the minus 30s, but it doesn't last as long because the water is not far away. So, while we do get those colder temperatures, they never last. I'll never forget in 1999 to 2000, the week of New Year's, well, that whole period leading up to New Year's, the high temperature was 45 below 0. And that was the ambient temperature, no wind chill. And that was the high temperature for like 3 weeks. It was freaking crazy. Carol L., glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here today. Good. You're feeling better. I like that. Sean, you said you were going to change out the perimeter wood around the stone wall behind the wood burner. What kind of wood or finish will it be? It'll be logs. It'll be logs that I cut down off the property here. So I'll peel them. I'll finish them up real nice. I have a friend up here who's got a sawmill, and he's up here for like from spring until October. And I'll take them down to him and have him mill them so that I have a flat side that I can mount on there. But I think the logs would look really, really nice. The spruce on there would be really, really cool. Oh, everybody's saying hi. My temperature on my roast is 129. So if it beeps, I'm going to get up and walk over and pull it out because it's still going to come up another 5 degrees once I pull it out of the oven. So that'll put me at like right at 140. But that way I end up with some medium rare in the thick part. I'm a terrible cook when you start your cooking channel. So what I recorded today was when I made the pie dough, I actually showed everybody how to make a pie dough from scratch. The super easiest way that you can make one. I know there's a million. Everybody's got their own favorite pie dough recipes. But I showed you how it'll be in not next week's video, probably the week after that. But I'm going to try and do more recording. I'm going to try and do a second video every week. We'll see where it goes, but I need to get enough ahead on content. Maybe I'll do something with cooking on that second video. We'll see. Oh, I always laugh at your installation of the ceiling. It looks like Neapolitan ice cream. Well, that's because the orange store ran out of the pink stuff. And I needed to finish the ceiling, so I had to get that from SBS. That's all they had at SBS. So yeah, I bought the last rolls of the orange, or at the orange store, of the pink stuff, and had to go with the Neapolitan look. Stephen Maine, how are you doing? Greetings from the next most northern state. Just came home from Navy Dave's cabin, taking a solar conduit. Electrician says, nice, very cool, very cool. Nalita, sometimes I take a Sunday off. So like next Sunday, I'll probably take it off if I go live on Thanksgiving Day. I don't want to get locked into every Sunday being live. I am not live on Sunday in the summer. So basically from like May until October, there's no lives just because it's way too hard to get enough bandwidth to do this. We just get inundated with people here. But other than that, I try to go live a couple of times a month for sure. In the past, I've gone every single Sunday, but I don't know that I'll do that this year. Sunday's a day when I can get a lot done. And this cuts into the day by an hour when it's still light out and I can still see and do stuff. So Wasilda's beautiful. That's a pretty area up there. Hey, Sean, do you think you will keep the outside of the cabin with the overwrap? Is that how people keep that? So there's an old wives' tale here in Alaska that the reason why people don't finish it and they leave tieback on the outside of their cabins is because by doing that, your house is incomplete and you don't have to pay property taxes. I'm 62 years old. I'll be 65 in 3 years. Well, 2.5 years. At 65, I won't have to pay property taxes anyway on this property at all. That rule may have been true at one point, but from what I understand, it's not anymore. So now they'll base your property taxes on percentage of completion of the cabin. So you're still going to pay. You still pay property taxes. I pay property taxes on my land here, but I don't have to have any permits because I don't live in an organized part of the borough. So I didn't require any permits for anything that I've done out here. So there's no reason for them to come check and raise my property taxes. And I'm not volunteering that I have a cabin here. When they catch it, like they up my property taxes because I put a driveway in. Eventually they'll catch it, and eventually I'll have to pay the property taxes. But they're not bad in Alaska. They're really not. And I'm only going to have to pay for a couple of years at most, and then it'll be done. Mike McKinley, awesome to see you, my friend. Glad you can make it. Watching Jay and Jen's video tomorrow. It's going to be -2 here in Ontario. Nice. I haven't watched the most recent one from Jay and Jen, where he had a bad day. I'll check that out with dinner tonight. Yep. Oh. So cool, right? I set it for a temperature and it goes. Give me 1 second here, folks. Matter of fact, I will pull it over here so you can see what it looks like. Oh, goodness. And the cabin is nice and warm. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm going to tell you what, that is absolutely gorgeous. Give you guys a peek here. Look at that, huh? Made it too forward. I don't want it to leak. How's that? Dinner and sandwiches. That's what that is. Oh, I'll put it on the stove. Last time I put something hot on my little metal table over here, it melted into the top of the table. Yum, yum. Okay. Yeah, that made sense. I think I got the answer on that one. Sean, what kind of wood will you be burning in the wood burner? Pine, hardwood? We don't have really any hardwood here in Alaska. Like hardwood. My idea of hardwood is like oak, almond, walnut, that kind of stuff. And they don't really have anything like that in Alaska. So more than likely, I'll just be burning most of the logs from my property because if you guys have seen the pictures during the summer, thanks to the bark beetle, most of the spruce on this property is dead or dying. So I probably got enough wood on my property alone to last me 10 years. So it'll give me a chance to clear land too. So that's probably the main part of what I'll burn. Am I going to install an open shelling? I don't know what you mean by that. Glad you did not install the top of the wall. I was telling no to the TV on Friday. I did. I heard you. There was a lot of folks that liked the idea, and there was a lot of folks that didn't. But for me, I wanted the continuity going up. And it worked out well because I still have like 5 boxes of that tile left if I want to do something with it. Tom Greeny, hello from Ireland. Awesome to have you here, my friend. What county are you hail from? My family's from County Leitrim, at least Hill, Drumcarran, and County Leitrim. Karen, a second video. My biggest issue is that if I started, I don't know if I can. I work full time. I do this and I work 40 hours plus a week. And I'm telling you, sometimes it just gets tough to get enough content to make it worth you guys watching it. So my week generally goes with, my big projects happen on the weekends. And then Monday, now I don't go to town anymore on Sunday. I used to, but generally speaking, I don't go to town anymore on Sunday. On Monday, I get done with work and I got to do laundry in town. I hit the laundromat. And then Tuesday, I edit video. And Wednesday, that video gets uploaded to YouTube to be released on Friday. So if you are a member, you will see the video. It'll be available to you the minute it's released. I have that set up for a perk for anybody who wants to support the channel by being a member. And then everybody can see it on Friday. But yeah, it's you know, there's not enough hours in my day. It's crazy how busy things can get. And then when, of course, summer hits, I'm fishing whenever I can. Oh, there we go. Am I going to install shelving in the kitchen? Yes, I am installing shelving in the kitchen. Not yet. It's coming. PTL Fabrication, how are you doing today? It is awesome to see you. How does solar perform? Would you suggest any upgrades? My solar doesn't perform worth beans right now because I discussed that earlier. I have so many trees and I can't get the panels up high enough, but that'll change in the spring. And then because this time of year, the sun's down low on the horizon. Now, when I went fully solar with the OPES at towards the end of summer last year, I went 3 months without firing the generator up. That's how well it worked. Yeah, so I fully expect solar to be awesome for me from basically May, maybe late April until early October, and then I'm going to have to supplement occasionally with the generator. Big family expedition. Awesome to have you here today. Glad you can make it. Holy smokes, there's 124 people in here right now. Hi, guys. I love peanut butter cookies. Oh, I have the 3-ingredient recipe. I love peanut butter cookies, though. I like mine a little on the dark side because I like the burnt taste of peanuts. Aaron, welcome. Glad to have you here today. What chickens do best around you in the winter? So the ones with the smaller combs are the ones that everybody told me that I wanted to look at. Did I turn? I didn't turn the oven off. Hang on. Let me turn the oven off. There we go. I went with Rhode Island Reds and Black Australorps because they're laying hens that lay a lot of eggs, and so when they are laying, they're a dual purpose bird, so you can eat them, or you could have them lay eggs and then you can eat them when they're done, which is what I originally planned on doing. I went with those because I wanted the eggs so that I could sell the eggs so I could supplement the cost of feeding, because a bag of feed up here cost me about $30, and mine are penned up. They don't free range around like Simple Living Alaska. They can free range around all day long, except they can't really do it in the winter. And that really cuts your cost of feed down. But that's the birds I went with. But if you're going to raise birds in Alaska, there's a ton of Facebook groups here for Alaska chickens. And my rooster is, he's called a ninja chicken. And he was bred in Alaska in Willow. And it's 10 years of a 20-year breeding program that he is in right now. So they're a hardy bird. I'm interested to see what happens when I get chicks. I am. Ryan, what's happening, my friend? It is awesome to have you here today. Ryan here in the Matsu Valley. Awesome to have you, my friend. Joseph sitting in the car listening, eating a Philly cheesesteak with extra onions. Nice. Oh, you're watching? Nice. I love a good Philly cheesesteak, man. There is an art to making pie dough. There is an art to making pie dough. Yeah, I don't know if they do that here. I think most of it's drive-by here. So down here in the Kenai Peninsula. But thank you. I got to grow the beard every winter. Okay, we're caught up on the food. Yummy on my way over. Be right back on my way to Alaska for dinner. Okay, we're at that part right now. Joseph, good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. I wait for you to drop the tri-tip. No, I wasn't going to do that, man. It might have hit the keyboards, but I'd have caught it. Yeah, it's Fairbanks is the same way. So during winter, it's a very dry cold, but it's a brutal, biting cold. And if you get any kind of breeze at all, it hurts. I mean, it literally hurts. You can get frostbite in 15 minutes in Fairbanks in winter. Sean, you've mentioned in the past about wanting to build a remote cabin in the future. What area would you consider? Probably up towards Tok and Glen Ellen. That's the kind of area that I think I would be interested in having a remote cabin. I'd like to build a log cabin. You know, I'm a young man still. I can still pull that off. Is the spruce growing back in areas that they were destroyed by the beetle? No. And it seems to mainly affect the black spruce. The white spruce seemed to be okay. A white spruce is more of a Christmas tree looking tree, and the black spruce is the one that's just the ugly looking tree. But the black spruce, while they do grow back up, they will be affected. From what I've seen, they're still affected by the beetle. But when the white spruce come up, they seem to be okay. That's not true. In Alaska, you have cedar, birch, and birch is a hardwood. It's not a hardwood compared to the hardwood I'm used to. We have birch up here. We don't have cedar in my part of Alaska. So we do have cedar in Alaska, but not in my part of Alaska. They have cedar and redwood and different trees down on the arm, you know, down Ketchikan, Juneau, down in that area. But we don't have cedar here. They have hemlock here, which is kind of, for wood texture, it's kind of similar to cedar. But man, cedar's awesome. I love cedar. Cedar's a beautiful smelling wood too. We do have tamarack. They're starting to grow more tamarack. So I'm going to look at putting tamarack, possibly planting tamarack trees on the property. And I've never burned it, so I don't know how hard it is. But for those in areas where oak, hickory, walnut, almond are plentiful, they know what I'm talking about with a hardwood compared to, say, a pine, a cedar, a spruce, Douglas fir. Not really hardwoods. Good burning woods, but not really hardwood like on the same level. Eddie Francis, how are you doing from Lapu Lapu? Awesome to have you here today. Renee, glad you could make it. Awesome to have you here today. CK, man, everybody's popping in. I love it, man. You made the last part of the live stream. How long have we been on? Man, I only have 10 minutes left. This is crazy. It was toasty in the cabin at minus 50. It does. It's a big difference, too, when I walk in and it's 20 below zero outside and it's 50 degrees in the cabin. It's a huge, you feel the warmth when you walk in. Sean, will you install a septic system and a well? Gotta love the indoor plumbing. I'm going to do a well eventually, as soon as I can afford to pay cash for one, because I don't want to incur any more debt. I didn't really incur much debt, some credit card debt from building the cabin, but other than that, it's pretty much all paid for. And then as far as the septic system goes, I have a problem with that. And the problem is that if you put a septic system in, you got to put a leach field in. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably put a septic tank in, a bigger one than I need, and I'll just have it pumped. So it'll just be a holding tank so that way I don't have to put a leach field in. That's my thought. Right? Yeah, free supplemental heat from the oven. It's like 75 degrees upstairs because I had that oven running. Speaking of the oven, how's that battery-operated stove? I love it. I would recommend it to anybody. I'm going to do a video coming up here pretty quick on off-grid appliances, how to do them on the cheap, and why you don't need to spend hundreds, thousands, and thousands of dollars on off-grid appliances. I'm telling you right now, you do not need to. I bought a $600 stove that, if it was labeled off-grid, would have been $1,500, and the thing works like a top. Same with my refrigerator. So my refrigerator is not an off-grid refrigerator. I paid, what did I pay for that? $500 or $600, I think, for that. Right around maybe $500 for the fridge. And that same size refrigerator, if it was an off-grid refrigerator, would have probably cost me $1,500 to $2,700. You don't need to spend that money to do this. Especially if you're going to have any kind of electrical in your house and batteries and a solar system anyway. You might as well just, bite the bullet and do what I did and buy an inexpensive, energy-efficient home refrigerator. What is the food grocery that's most expensive versus the 48 states? Produce. And the quality of produce up here is not what I'm used to, but I'm from California. So, we have the best produce in the world. Get a second Opes, paint it up to look like a big lunch pail, and leave it in the break room at work every day. Plug it in the wall. I actually did that when I first got here. I would bring these little charging power bricks that I have. I would bring them to work, and I'd charge them when I walked into work until I left. Okay, you're by Algonquin Park. Birch and tamarack here, lots of tall pines too. So you have ash and you have cherry and you have all those woods there, I think, too. Lisa, I don't know that it would be, and hi, I don't know that I wouldn't be considered remote because I can drive to it. To me, remote is you can't drive up to your front door. That's what I would consider remote. Um, I would consider remote something you had to hike into, take a four-wheeler into, or fly into. And I drive to work every day, so I wouldn't consider myself remote. He'll eat the beetles, revenge. We had a meat chicken. It died of natural causes. My wife loves her chicken like pets. I have to buy chicken at the store wrapped. Yeah, I know. I'm single, so I don't have to deal with that. But if I wasn't, I probably would run into the same situation. Or if my kids were here, I'd probably run into the same situation. Right. Burning cedar is awesome. And then just take chunks of cedar and throw it in with your blankets, in the closet or cupboard that you keep your blankets in. Oh, that aromatic from cedar is unbelievable. When I lived in Fairbanks in the winter, I never left the house without putting on my underlayer gloves. Dead horse. Yeah, that's cold. Dead horse is cold. Suzanne's Sweet Kitchen is awesome to see you. Glad you can make it today. Tamarack turns beautiful. There is some tamarack up in Cooper Landing, and it does. It turns yellow in the fall, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Haven't been seeing the Northern Lights lately, but I see the Eagles every day. So they're back, and I'll get some pictures for you on the Eagles. Our local, Fred Neffel or whatever we name them this year. We always give them different names. David, what's happening, my friend? It's awesome to see you today. Better narrating. It's getting better. Good. I hope so. Sean, do you still work? If yes, what do you do? Yes, I work retail grocery. I work for a major grocery chain in Soldotna, Alaska. I manage their dairy department. So I work full-time, 40 hours a week. The Texas Butterfly, how are you doing? Glad you can make it today. Oh, I caught up. Nice. I like that. We have the same stove using gas as you have. I bought an extra shell for it because it bakes so much bread. Nice. My biggest problem is I haven't been able to get it to go to 500 degrees. So it's tough to get it on the real high temperatures. But I think that is a propane regulator issue as opposed to the stove itself. I'll have to look more into a better regulator. I just went with the first thing that I found on Amazon, and it was an easy, quick connect regulator, and I'll have to look at something a little bit better. I tried walking and hitchhiking once, then bought another car. Nice. Jess says, here in Quebec, pine or spruce equals getting the fire going strong. Oak, maple, or other hardwoods burning long and hot. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. And also the stove, right? I mean, the stove makes a big difference. This is a pretty efficient stove that I have here. Misplaced country girl fishing. You did make it, but you made it at like the very end. We got like 4 minutes left, maybe 3 minutes left. But you made it. That's all that matters. Scott O'Shawn, there's a trick for the oven temp. Look up adjusting temp in your manual using hold up and down buttons for 10 seconds. Then you can adjust it equal to or greater than. I've read the manual front to back on that. It's not an oven issue for me on that one. Because unlike, when I was younger, I actually read all the manuals now. It gives me something to do in the evenings, especially when it gets dark and it's an easy, you're not going to be, it's going to be dark here in a half an hour, so I need something to keep me busy at night. Sean, I wish you were here to help me lay this new flooring. I loved flooring. I love doing flooring. Okay, you got your stove. Scott says he got his stove to 525 that way. I'll have to take a look at it again. Thank you guys very much. Yeah, we're getting to the end, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jen. Awesome to have you here today. Everybody have a fantastic week. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. That's why I do the live, so I can hang out with you and answer the questions that you may have about what I'm doing here and the life that I live in Alaska. And I've said this before, and I've already had one person send it to me. So what I like to do throughout the whole month of December is at the end of the videos, I like to have pictures of viewers' Christmas trees. So follow me on Facebook or email me. My email is on my About page on the YouTube channel. And take a picture of your Christmas tree and send it to me. I don't post your name with it, but I just love the different looks of Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love the different looks of different trees and how people decorate their trees for their houses. And I like to share those at the end of the videos with a little bit of Christmas music all the way through the month of December. That's going to wrap it up for me, folks. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the suggestions. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have, to my American brothers and sisters, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And to everybody else out there that may not be watching from somewhere other than Alaska or the United States, have a wonderful week. We'll see you again soon. Thanksgiving Day, which is Thursday here. Look for me live. I don't know what time. It'll just be a pop-up because I do have to work, but I'll hang out with you guys for a bit. Thanks as always. Have a great day. I'm Sean in Alaska, and I am out of here. We'll click the end stream button and say goodbye.